शरीर मेरी प्रजा, मैं एक अच्छा राजा बनकर शरीर रूपी प्रजा का पालन करूं। यही है राजयोग। हे आत्मन अंतर की निगरानी तू कर अपनी, राजन तनिक तू राजधानी देख ले अपनी। हो योग युक्त कर दे काया रोग मुक्त अपनी। हो योग युक्त कर दे काया रोग मुक्त अपनी। राजन तनिक तू राजधानी देख ले अपनी। हे आत्मन। राजा सिंहासन पर बैठकर प्रजा को आज्ञा देता है, वो प्रजा पालन करती है। मैं आत्मा भाल के सिंहासन पर बैठकर अपनी हर सोच के द्वारा शरीर को शुभ आज्ञाएं सकारात्मक सोच के द्वारा दे रही हूँ। मैं एक सुशासक हूँ। तन के तुम्हारे भाल पर तेरा सिंहासन है, ये तख्त है अकाल का, तेरा ही शासन है, तेरा ही शासन है। बन राजयोगी ध्यान से शुभ आज्ञा दे अपनी। हे आत्मन। राजयोग द्वारा मैं अपने सत्य और पवित्र स्वरूप का अनुभव कर रही हूँ, जिस स्थिति में परमात्मा से मेरे मन की तार जुड़ गई है और उनकी शक्तियों से मैं हर कार्य सफलतापूर्वक कर रही हूँ, अपना सौभाग्य बना रही हूँ। शुद्धता और शक्ति का तेरे ताज सिर पर है, साथ है परमित्र प्रभु का हाथ तुझ पर है, हाथ तुझ पर है। निज भाग्य पर कर मेहरबानी नित्य ही अपनी। हे आत्मन। ऐसा न हो के काल कोई खेल ऐसा खेल ले, तेरी प्रजा तुझसे बगावत फिर नया कोई छेड़ दे, फिर नया कोई छेड़ दे। पहरा लगा रख सावधानी चित्त पर अपनी। हे आत्मन अंतर की निगरानी तू कर अपनी। राजन तनिक तू राजधानी देख ले अपनी। हो योग युक्त कर कर दे काया रोग मुक्त अपनी। राजन तनिक तू राजधानी देख ले अपनी। हे आत्मन, हे आत्मन, हे
Shanti, everyone. Good morning. So today is the 4th of April, 2022. And the Murli that we're going to be reading today will be read in 3 parts. Today will be the first part. And just like the song was suggesting, it has to do with the kingdom and self-rulership. So I'll just read and explain a few things, and then at the end we'll find some time for sharing any thoughts that want to highlight. We can do that at the end. So the original date of this Murli was 5th of December 2008. 5th 2008. And the title was, at the time of establishing one kingdom, one religion, and law order. At this time, transform yourself and become a world transformer. Transform yourself and become a world transformer. So there are different ages, as we know, in the cycle. And the moment we come down to the copper age, we go into duality. We go into the good and the bad, the white and the dark. We go into all the opposite that we see in this end of the Iron Age to be most pronounced. We are in its most pronounced form of duality. And that's why the world doesn't make sense. If we are in 2022, on one side we are the most advanced, on the other side we are still fighting one another and killing one another. So when in the past, when we heard about traditions and people who would kill tribes and all that, we would find them very backwards. But this is exactly what we're doing at this moment. So the solution, as Baba proposes, is that you have to move from duality into singularity, into oneness. That is the only way that there can be harmony and there can be rulership. So let's see what Baba says. Today, Bab Dada is seeing all his Raj Dulare. Today, Bab Dada is seeing all his Raj Dulare. Raj, royal, and Dulare means specially beloved children. Children, he's seeing his Raj Dulare children everywhere. A handful out of multi-millions receive this special affection from God. With this godly affection, Bapdada has made each child a master of 3 thrones. Okay, so in the kingdom, as we know, we have thrones, right? So Baba's language is very different from the world's language. Baba is explaining what are these three thrones. Obviously, symbolism of a throne is where she comes from. Also, where one sits when they give orders. Yeah. So this is a throne, and usually there is power and respect with the throne. So let's see what Baba is explaining us about the throne. So Bab Dada has made each child a master of three thrones. The first one is the throne of the forehead, of right to self-sovereignty. Most of those people who want to conquer, they want to conquer other people. And our throne starts with the throne of the forehead where the soul is sitting, and we have to have that mastery there. Yeah. So the throne and head of the right of self-sovereignty. The second is Bab Dada's heart throne. So heart is related to love. So sitting in that throne, there will be a lot of love, and there won't be any need of force. And the third is the throne of the right to the kingdom of the world. How do we get the right to the kingdom of the world? We have to do something. This is an action-oriented, that we karmically help people to come out of their slavery, from the slavery, and we give them freedom in the same way that we got that. So this is the third one, where you have the right to the kingdom of the world because you have helped in transforming the world. The Father has given these three thrones to his loving, dulare, affectionate children. By having these three thrones in your awareness all the time, okay, now this is very important. By having the awareness of these three thrones all the time, each child has spiritual intoxication. So we need to check. Number one, are you having the awareness? Number two, creating intoxication or not? And then we can adjust accordingly. Yeah, Baba is going to talk about that later also. So all of you children remain happy on seeing the inheritance you receive from the Father. Do you not? The song automatically keeps playing in your heart, does it not? Wah, Baba, wah. Why, wah, my fortune, wah. You've received in your practical life what you never even dreamt of. At this time, at this conference age, together with the throne, Bab Dada has made you experience the flying stage through the double crown. So this is another element of rulership. Wherever there is a king, the symbol is crown. But we just don't have any crown. We have double crown, the crown of purity and self-sovereignty. Bab Dada was seeing the royalty, the children everywhere. He was seeing everywhere. He was seeing the double crown children today. Bab Dada checked the speed of effort of all the children everywhere, because all of you can see and also know the speed of time. So whenever there is an aspect of time, Baba is encouraging that we can't just do things in the same old way the world is doing. We are doing it in the flying stage. And for that, you need to have this crown. So, Just repeat. Dada was seeing the inheritance of the fortune of the kingdom that each one has received from the Father. Your kingdom, your future attainment, the sanskars that all of you will have in the future in a natural way and will be part of your nature, and will be part of your nature, should be experienced now for a long period of time, because that is the new Naya Sansar. And the new world is being created with new sanskars. So Naya Sansar, and then we need Naya Sanskar to create that. And sanskar is something that is already embedded. You don't have to make effort for it to appear. So in a very natural way. So you are experiencing the specialities of the new world, are you not? You have the intoxication of what they will be in your kingdom, do you not? Your hearts say, our kingdom, our new world is about to come. So Bab Dada was seeing to what extent the spirit of the new world have emerged in the effort-making lives of the children. So this is one of those checking points. To what extent have the speciality emerged for the present moment, in the present moment? You already know that the new sanskars and the specialities of the new world are. The specialities of the new world would emerge in the intellect of all of you. You know them, do you not? You remember them and you know them. The first speciality is check to what extent each speciality has emerged in you. So the speciality of being able to check and gauge, where am I in this moment in my practice? Main speciality is of one kingdom, just as there is naturally only one kingdom there. There is no other kingdom there. In the same way, look at your confluence age life as to whether there is just one kingdom in your life, or is there something other, as sometimes other kingdoms too. If while moving along together with the kingdom of the self, there is also the kingdom of Maya, then would you have the sanskar of one kingdom? From one kingdom, there isn't another kingdom also ruling at the same time. Is there? Is the kingdom of God's Shrimad? Is it the kingdom of God's Shrimad? Or is there sometimes suppression by Maya? There isn't Maya's kingdom in your heart, is there? So check this. Check your chart in these aspects. Now, at the confluence age, is it God's kingdom, or does Maya also suppress you? Have you checked this? Check this right now. So let us just go within and ask yourself, is there something that is ruling my life apart from Baba? Check yourself. Is there anything that is ruling your life apart from the pure virtues and the powers that you have received? See if there is any upheaval that you are going through because of following Maya's kingdom. And if there is, it's not about blaming yourself or shaming yourself. It's just the understanding that we fall into this kingdom. And when we fall into this kingdom, the rule in that kingdom is duality, which means discomfort, dis-ease, sorrow is natural. Just as in the kingdom of God, happiness is natural, love is natural. In the kingdom of Ravan, sorrow is natural. So, if there are two kingdoms, even now, how would you claim a right to one kingdom? Are the dictates of Maya mixed with Srimad? In the same way, there is the religion. There will be one kingdom and one religion. Religion, dharma, means dharna, inculcating virtues. So religion means dharma, which means dharma means dharna. So what is your special dharna? The dharna of purity. So check, has the nature of purity become constant, natural in your thoughts, words, and deeds, relationship and connection? So again, is it natural, or do you have to make effort? Whenever the word natural, the opposite will be making effort. Just as in your kingdom, there will be the religion, dharna of purity, naturally in the same way as the dharna of purity at this time become natural and part of your nature. You know that your eternal form and your original form is purity. So check, is the one religion that is purity natural? Nature when you don't want it to. What do some children say in their heart-to-heart conversation? So now there is a clue. While you're checking, Baba is giving us a clue on what kind of thing will indicate that this dharna has not happened in a full way. They say very, very sweet things. They say, I didn't want to, but sometimes the piece of impurity emerges in my thoughts or in my words. This happens because there are the sanskars of many births. So, one religion means that the dharna of purity should be natural and of your nature. Even if there is force in your words, you then say, that wasn't anger, but I became a little bit forceful. So what is that force? So what is that force? It is a child of anger. That force is a child of anger. So when will the sanskars of religion become natural? So check, and together with checking, also bring about the change with the power you have received from the Father. Now Bapdada is at least drawing your attention in advance. If you make intense effort to check and then change, there is a margin. But after some time, the board of suddenly or too late definitely has to be put up. Don't say that Baba didn't warn you. This is why the time for making effort has now passed, but you still have time to make intense effort. So check, but do not just check. Also bring about change at the same time. Some check themselves, but they do not have the power to change themselves. So Baba has explained about the rulership, explained about the two kingdoms, and explained the process of how do we get there, how the self-transformation is, a transformation is going to happen through the process of checking, and he's going through details of each part. Yeah? So check and change. So not only check also, but also change. Should take place simultaneously. This is the self-respect and praise all of you. What is your title? Master, Almighty, Authority. One with all powers. Are you a master of all powers, or do you just have some? Those who say that they are masters with all powers, raise your hands. Acha, congratulations, masters with all powers. However, what can be said if you are masters with all powers and are not able to bring about change? Okay. What can be said if you wish to change your sanskars and nature, but are not able to change them? Ask yourself, am I a master with some power or a master with all powers? When a master with all powers has the thought, I have to do this, then it is already accomplished. Yeah? You just have a thought and it's already accomplished. Then there isn't the thought, will it happen? I will see about it. I cannot do this. These are all doubtful, self-doubt. So now, according to the time, the result should be that whatever thoughts you have, the thought and becoming that form should both take place at the same time. How the new year, the Avyak year, is about to come. It's going to be 40 years of receiving Avyak sustenance. So it is now 72 years since you have been receiving Avyak sustenance and the sustenance through the corporeal form. So as you know, Brahma Baba in his physical form served us, and then as time went by, started serving us through the Avyak form. So at this point, 72 years. So will you give Bab Dada the return of the sustenance you have received from both Father? Just think, what is the sustenance you have received and what has been practical? Bab Dada, so that even now there is carelessness and royal laziness. The royal laziness, it will happen, I will become that, I will reach there. This is a language of procrastination. And carelessness is, I am doing it, the language of giving excuses or reasons. This has to happen, this has to be done. However, there is a difference in your seeing and doing. Bab Dadas continues to smile on seeing one sing. What do you say? This should happen. Do this first, and I will then be able to move forward very well. There is the attitude of wanting others to change. But in some cases, the attitude for self-transformation is a little bit less. So now change the attitude of looking at others. If you want to look at others, see their specialities. Now this is a very clear, very straightforward instruction about the view that we need to have on other people. There is no margin in observing the weaknesses of other without having that compassion or the feeling that the idea of even noticing is to have that good wishes that, they will be powerful and they will come through. Just like Baba told us, right? Baba told us that, look, you sometimes say that you'll change, but you don't. Okay, so what's missing? You have not understood who you are. That clarity is not there. So what is our vision for other people? In order for us to see that, just think that God is seeing this person who's weak. And what Baba is seeing in this person who's weak. That should be my vision as well. So there is no margin for, and then we love, because our society is built on criticism, and we justify it by saying that, in order to progress, we have to, find faults and all that. But the attitude is wrong. It is being done, but with a wrong attitude. And therefore the result is wrong. The idea should be love. The idea should be progress, just like a mother and a child. Mother will fall down many times, the child will dirty so many times. Doesn't encourage them, because they know that there is limitation. We are also in the same way. That's why we are children, right? But it's not an excuse. You have to keep up. So this one is not done by anybody outside. You have to do it for yourself. So this happens anyway. This continues anyway. This one who does this. Okay, you compare with other people and you justify your action. Now reduce this feeling, look at yourself and keep the Father in front of you. It doesn't matter who it is, whether someone is a Maharati or in the middle level in their effort, they are all transforming one or other weaknesses. So you can't, you know that this is the process of self-transformation. The whole world is the so they don't even know that this is what is going on. So how can I, be angry and there's no margin for that. So therefore, see Father, see double Father, look at Father Brahma, look at Father Shiva. The Father has seated you on the heart throne, and you have also made the Father sit on your heart throne. Your slogan is, see the Father, there is one, see brother. Now there is another weakness. However you want to look at the see their specialities. Do not look at they are removing from themselves. And secondly, in your kingdom, you do not remember your kingdom, do you not? So secondly, in your kingdom, you do not remember your kingdom, do you not? It was your kingdom yesterday and it will be your kingdom tomorrow. So do you have clarity that you are going to be the rulers of the world? Or do you still have a lot of do you still have attraction to the success of the world? Because there are intelligent people in the world. Baba talked about them in one of the Murlis recently. You will feel that they know everything. They can agree with you, but they don't have the right knowledge. All these people who impress us, whether, sports personality, whether actors, whether cricketers, whether any kind of, musician, yes, obviously there is no doubt about their performance. But what I'm saying is, do you know who you are and you is in comparison to the whole world? Because this is not, you're not taking this. Baba has given this to you and told you, you are the highest on high. It's not you who has taken this title. You are the Master Almighty Authority. You did not say that I am the Master. Baba told you that you are the Master Almighty Authority. This thing. Also, another thing that I find it very important is that these other people, they are also the same. It's not like they are lower. It's just that they have to realize themselves, just like you have realized. And once you have realized, you need to help them realize. So, about the kingdom, it was your kingdom yesterday, and tomorrow your kingdom has clearly entered your intellect, and it is in your eyes, is it not? Have you counted how many times you have ruled the kingdom? Baba is giving us a picture, okay? And you need to be absorbed in that picture to see yourself in your kingdom. And only believe something where it is of its, how much valid something is. So when we are sure about something, we'll be able to see it also. Yeah? Now, of course, it's God who's telling us this. Therefore, that's the most reliable information that we have. Have you counted how many times you have ruled the kingdom? You have ruled countless times. As soon as you speak about it, it comes in front of you. Your form of having a right to the kingdom, and your elevated kingdom. It is as though law and order are naturally walking in your kingdom. So in the golden age, you don't tell people, about, or you don't have to make effort to give that law and order. The law and order is given directly by your nature, and they will receive it from their nature. So it's very different. We don't have constitution and agreements and, things like that there. It is understood. So it's a very natural one kingdom. That's the meaning of one kingdom. All of you have the sanskars of being knowledgeable. You know that what law is and what order is. Similarly, look at your life. Are you working under the Father's order, or do you sometimes work under the orders of Maya? Sometimes you don't follow the dictates of others and the dictates of your own mind instead of following Shrimad. Do you? And what is law? Law is to be a carefree emperor. So what is order? Who you are following. What is law? Law is to be a carefree emperor. You are an example. There is no worry because you have all attainment. Similarly, also check in your elevated life of the conference age whether you have all the attainments that the Father has given you. They are like prasad, holy, pure, offered to God. From God, and there is also much importance of prasad. So you have attained as Prabhu Prasad all the attainment from the Father. There is importance of Prabhu Prasad. It is an inheritance. It is a right, and it is also prasad. So check, am I full of law and order? Okay, so this was the third point, about law and order. Bab Dada was saying that the majority of you have received the power of transformation, and if that power is used at the right time, there is no effort. Look, all of you have experienced that if any of you are ever defeated by Maya in any way, all of you say in your lectures that you also conduct classes saying that these two words can make you fall and that they can also make you ascend. And you know those two words. Which are those two words? They have entered everyone's in mind. Those two words are I and mine. The root cause of all misery and sorrow is only one, which is the identity of something that I'm not, or sometimes we call it the ego identity, that either I am something which I'm not, or this is mine which is not. Okay, so it's very easy to fall into this trap. You say this in your lectures and you also conduct classes. Bab Dada hears those classes. What do you say? Now with the power of transformation, whenever you use these two words, when you say I, so and so, I am a Brahmin, but who am I? Bab Dada has given you many titles of self-respect. Whenever you use the word I, also say one or another title of the self-respect with it. That is, bring that in your intellect. As soon as you say the word I, you also remember your self-respect. When you say mine, you remember Baba. My Baba should become your natural awareness. Simply bring about this transformation. And secondly, generally, when you come into relationship and connection with others, Maya comes through two words. One is intention, bhav, and the other one is feeling or bhavna, pure feeling and good wishes. Okay, so if you have four words. You have the first two words that Baba has given us, which is I and mine, the correct one, and then bow and bhavana. Whenever you speak of or think of bow, then remember the spiritual intention. So the first two was for yourself. The second two, bhava and bhavana, is for your relationships. As soon as you say the word bow, you should remember the spiritual intention. And when you say bhavana, remember the pure feeling. Transform the meaning of the words. What is your title? World Transformer. Can World Transformer not transform those words? So try this and see using the power of transformation at the right time. It will come afterwards when the situation has passed. It comes afterwards when the situation has passed and your mind doesn't like it and your mind begins to think about it. However, the time has passed by. Then, has it not? There is now a need for fast speed, not sometimes. Do not think that you remain fine for most of the time. For Bab Dada has already that there is no guarantee of the final moment. There is to be the game of suddenly. Some children even tell the father very sweetly, they say, when the time goes into the extreme a little more, there will then be disinterest anyway. And so the time of disinterest may speed, my speed will become fast by itself. However, Bab Dada has said that you need to make effort over a long period of time. If the effort is for a short time, then the reward you receive will also be for a short time. You will not create the reward for the full 21 births. Always remember 3 words of Bab Dada: suddenly, ready, and long period. Keep all these 3 words in your intellect all the time. Everyone's final moment can be anywhere, at any time. Even now, see how many Brahmins are departing. Did they know? This is why you definitely have to claim the inheritance of the full 21 births by making effort over a long period of time. Keep this intense effort in your awareness. First number and first birth in your own kingdom. What have you thought? You want to count the first birth? Do you not? In what would there be first birth or any birth? Those who feel that they should also have a part with Shri Krishna in the first birth in their kingdom, raise your hands. Acha. So we will stop here. It's page number 46. And let's have some time, a few minutes to reflect, and then we can share. Okay. So another lovely Murli. It's packed with so many practical advice, and you can share what you liked, what touched you deeper than usual, or you might like to share what is it, 1 or 2 things that you would like to explore in this Murli, thing that you feel you have kind of checked, and maybe there's some work that is needed. So anything that you like. So we open the opportunity for you to share now.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So Baba is talking today about transforming ourselves. And while transforming ourselves, we don't have to look at any sister or brother or any Maharathi also. We just have to concentrate on ourselves. And he's also saying to stay away from royal laziness and carelessness. So this is what I have gathered. Om Shanti.
And is that
Om
what
Shanti.
you're going to practice?
Sorry?
Yes, please. Is that what you will try to be attentive about? Carelessness and laziness?
Yes, that is really their royal carelessness and laziness.
Yeah. What I find in my I find in my experience is that when I don't have attainment, then carelessness and laziness comes. If there is attainment, usually it's like, I'm getting anyway, So why shouldn't I do this? Like any hobby that you do, because you love to do it. You just do it, no? You don't get tired
yes,
doing that.
I know. Yes, I do that. I mean, I never look at others, though there are so many people. And I only tell them that Baba has said, don't look at anybody else, because this is what everybody sees, I know that inside my heart, but that royal laziness and carelessness, I have to overcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
We all have to. Thank you. Okay, some other person wanted to share. Please go ahead.
Om Shanti. Baba has made each. Am I audible? Because there's a network problem here. Baba has made each child a master of three thrones. That is the throne of the forehead, where the soul situates, and Baba's heart throne, and the right to the kingdom of the world. Right. So we need to we have to maintain this, and we need to keep checking on to what extent your Purushartha is going on, and we need to check ourselves if there is any other thing which is coming in your way of ruling the kingdom, and we keep checking, but we do not change, right? So, but these two things should happen simultaneously. There shouldn't kind of doubt, right? That is what I'm.
And clarity, when we are checking, or sometimes we do it very casually. And this is where the problem comes. When you're checking something casually, you will miss something, no? Or you might not miss, but you have not registered it. So the better way is you take your book and you sit down. And then you look at, the past week or the past month and see, where is it that I can improve? But like while talking, even I'm talking to you, how much am I doing that? I need to ask myself, So they say that if you write it down, actually half of it is already done. We acknowledge it on paper, now it's written, So that I found to be quite useful for me.
I usually visualize my computer in front of me, and I just give a pause. Then I check. Then I change. Then I scroll down. I move the cursor up and down, and again refresh myself where I've gone wrong. Is there any mistake, or is there anything which I've achieved? Any word, and I just pat my back when I've achieved something. That's
beautiful. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. So thank you for reminding us that it's not only, we are not checking only the shortcomings and, weaknesses. We are also checking where things are working out in my life, because that also will help me and give me courage, So whenever you have success, you have the motivation to continue, you know. But the important part is to be honest with yourself, because it's not about anybody, no? It's about myself.
Yeah, Baba says, do not compete with others, compete with yourself, compare with yourself. That keeps reminding me.
Wonderful. Om Shanti. Yes, sister.
Om Shanti. Yeah, Om Shanti,
Shanti.
brother.
Om Shanti.
This Murli is very beautiful as usual, and Vah Baba for that. The three words which Baba says to remember to keep in the intellect: suddenly, ever ready, and long period. I think this is really important, because the laziness and all that checking and all, if we keep remembering these three words, that time is running out and it can happen suddenly, it can happen at any time. You know, automatically the process of self-transformation or the effort that we make in that direction is going to be very consistent and focused. So, Om Shanti. I think these three words are really important.
That's very beautiful, very beautiful, because you know how we behave when there is an emergency. Everything changes, you know. We don't focus at that time when there is an issue. You don't start, blaming people, even though, maybe still. But when really there is emergency, everybody unites, everybody comes together. And transformation is like instantaneous, But then Baba is saying how, like you mentioned, how to bring that awareness that this is how it's going to be before it has happened. We don't need a war to realize that we need love in this world. You don't need people killing one another to realize that love is needed. We should be able to see that coming,
So, I loved your example of treating it as an emergency.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that in the airline, since I work for Air India, I have been the emergency response director for more than 20 years and handled 2 accidents also. Actual accidents, like, activating the whole thing. And now you've given me such a good way of correlating my practical experience into that being ever ready for the spiritual transformation. Om Shanti.
Yeah. We are Baba's emergency response team.
Yes. yes. Yeah. Om Shanti.
Yes,
Om Shanti. Adding on to all the conversations that's been happening until now, and very rightly put across as emergency response unit. And the axis that I could see here is Baba today talking about checking and changing. Today the world speaks about AI, that is artificial intelligence. But Baba's formula here is awareness and intoxication. So my takeaway is to check and change is practice the AI tool, awareness and intoxication.
I will use that. AI, the new definition for AI.
And I have a question, brother, here. Baba speaks today in the Murli about bhav and bhavna. Okay. Can you elaborate on what Baba means when you connect with any other soul, okay, or any in the space of service, when we speak about when we come with a bhav, that's an expression. Look at spiritual bhav and spiritual bhavna. Can you elaborate on this point?
So bhav was translated to be an attitude, and bhavna was that feeling, good wishes and pure feeling. Okay. So I feel that the essence of all knowledge is these 2 words. What is because all your relationship will be dependent on your attitude towards, of course, first yourself and towards other people. So if my attitude, there's something wrong with my attitude, of course, my action will be wrong. Okay. So, and this is so clear. I am sure nobody will miss this out. If you are having an intention that is not good about another person, it will be very clear. You just don't have, and I'm not, ashamed to say that many times I have seen my intentions are not good. Like Baba says, The second part is bhavana, and believe me, sometimes there is revenge. Sometimes there is, like putting somebody down purposely, so that you can look better. Sometimes, and when we were working and in our lives, even when we were children, this is what we tried to do. I'm better than the other person, and therefore I'm not worried about them. I'm just worried about how good do I shine. So if I have to put somebody else's down, and then there is another style where there's an attitude of pretending to be, nice and good to people, having right attitude, but in reality, you can see that there is something false. I like the example where sometimes two countries go and meet one another. Like, there is peace talks and things like that. They come to the meeting considering the other person as the enemy. Now, if you tell me that this other person is my enemy and I'm talking to them, what attitude will I have? Even though I want peace, but in my mind, this is the enemy. So that's what Baba is saying, that bhav and bhavna. This is my spiritual partner, my spiritual co-worker, my spiritual whatever it is, and from that, we are creating a new world, and therefore good wishes and pure feeling is essential. It's not an option. This has to be there. Yeah. I don't know if that kind of...
Thank you, brother, for bringing that example. And what I was getting when you were sharing this was bhav and bhavna for self and for others have to be pure. Because if even somewhere I have a guilt or a blame, or I make myself little, then I'm not serving the purpose for who I am.
Yeah. And it's so easy to check. At least for me, I know. When I'm being funny, when I'm being not real, I know that, no, my intention here. And it's all because of fear. I'm afraid that something will go wrong to me, with me. So I'll push somebody else. So, this is so, clear. We can all see this, But somewhere, once you acknowledge that, then we will be able to transform it. You acknowledge and you realize that in order for your relationship to be, healthy, you need to have good wishes, and it doesn't come easy. Of course, you have to work on it, to have just, you can't, like I'm talking to you and I have something like, something wrong. And then somebody say, I have good wishes. You will not be able to have good wishes. You're just talking about it. You're not really having good wishes because there's something, often Baba says, jab baat hote hai na, so, something is there. So baap nahi hota hai. No?
Here again, what was opening?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please go ahead.
Before bhav and bhavna, Baba also says, I and mine. We have to really check. So in so many other murlis, Baba says, whenever this thing comes in your mind, I, then put I, the soul, and mine. When mine comes, then you say Baba. So I, the soul, and Baba is mine. And then, of course, while writing a chart every day, I always write, feelings, good wishes, and pure feelings for everyone. And this is at this time, this is really, mandatory.
Yes. And that is sequential, first is I and mine, that has to go. So your foundation is correct. Then only when the I and mine is gone, then there can be bhav and bhavna. So it's not just like that Baba put it. If you churn about it, you realize that it is a continuation. So one is the relation with myself. I am a soul. I belong to the Father. Mine is one Father. Then bhav and bhavna is a result where my relationship becomes good.
Yeah, and Baba also says, you can always add a title of self-respect.
Exactly. Yeah.
So mostly it's, I am the Master Almighty, health, wealth, happiness, and success is my bodily birth, right? This is my favorite.
Yeah.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Okay.
Om Shanti, brother. You just told told about fear, right? So
yes.
Fear is also a vice, isn't it? Right?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Fear is also a vice. But okay, I don't know about our people who are Brahma Kumar and Brahma Kumaris, but we being in a family, like, we are always under fear, right?
Yeah.
When we are cooking, yes, khana acha bana hai ki nahi. When your husband is about to eat, I don't know what he's going to say.
Identity has come, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that means we are always, that vice we have to eradicate within ourselves.
Yes. So just check. But, whenever you say I, who is that I? Just ask yourself. I am that one who's cooking nice food. I am that one who's so intelligent and clever and have good skills. I am that one who's serving in the center. I am the one who's giving good lectures. If there is any false I, you are bound to fail. You will have success, but the success will be temporary. So this is like the key, the first part. Who is that I that I'm talking about? Who's that I? If it is the false I, then Maya's kingdom. if it is the right I, then it's Baba's. Really, I'm telling you, we can slip. Yesterday only I was hearing somebody saying that, I did this, I did that, without me, this. Like, and I said, what do you mean? This is your illusion. Baba can do his work. You are nothing, in that sense. Like if you're trying to, think that Baba's work, and, Baba's work will continue. So we have to be very careful to take credit of anything. But we can take the best credit, which is to be the child of God, to be the one, the friend of God. Khuda those, you can be, you can take any of those swaman and own those swaman, not just in theory, in practice. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's stop here and maybe a couple of minutes we have.
Yeah, Ripai, we can have
we go extra 2 minutes if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that again, whenever you have a chance during the day, just to go through the points that we've discussed and something that has stayed back. In fact, you can just do it immediately right now after we finish. Just reflect and think. Use your AI, awareness and intoxication. So create this understanding that Baba is making us kings of kings in the kingdom which is one. The kingdom where there is no duality, there is no Dvaita, there is Advaita. Only one. There is natural law and order. We don't have to impose law or order. Just like Baba sometimes says, there is no court and justice and prison. That is not needed. The one that we are seeing right now is the impure version of law and order, where basically there is no law and order. And that starts with self-sovereignty. I am the master. I rule my senses. I rule my actions through those sense organs. And I'm coming from the space of purity. What is purity? Absolutely no spot of something impure. And for me, I like the word truth, complete truth. There is zero impurity or some kind of something entering my space which is not part of me. Completely pure, full of all virtues, full of all powers. My thoughts, the moment they arise, they are materializing naturally. So I need to practice this for a long period of time till it becomes natural. Om Shanti. Thank you for joining today and wish you a great day ahead.
Om Shanti. Wish you all a good day and reflection points that Brother spoke about. We take this as a homework and we meet tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. to continue the remaining part of this Murli.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good day, everyone.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba.